What is going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today we're taking a look at some of the cool tech that I've checked out in the last month. And you guys seem to really like the last episode where we took a look at just some of the stuff that I may have added around the house or what I thought was some cool products that I've used in that time. And I feel like it's a new series that I really want to continue because we definitely check out a lot of new products that come out in the industry, whether it is smartphones, computers, but also some workflow stuff, new cameras. And I feel like this is the type of video where we're able to bring together all of these cool items and talk about them in a video. In this last month, I made a lot of upgrades to my home office, added a projector, a standing desk, and we've also started testing the new camera from Red, which is the Komodo, which has picked up a lot of hype in the production industry. So today we've definitely got a very exciting one. So if you guys would like to win an item from this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, and leave a comment down below with your Instagram username, and follow me over on justin.tse. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let's just get started with the first product. So one of the most popular headphones over the past few years is the WH-1000 line from Sony. And the previous model is the XM3, and when the XM4s came out, I saw some reviews of them and decided to try it out for myself and see if these are indeed better than the Bose line of 700s and also the QC35s that I've been using for flying in the past couple years. And honestly, I didn't really have any problems with the Bose QC35. It was able to last a long flight, the active noise cancellation was good, the sound quality was good enough, and it was relatively comfortable to the point where I can just put them on and sleep with them. But in the past year, I believe a lot of good new options have come out, including the 700s from Bose, which I really enjoy, as well as a Microsoft Surface option, which also looks really cool. But what I've heard is the Sony line is the best, and after trying them out, I can tell you that the noise cancellation is even better than Bose. Going into this though, I definitely had some high expectations because the price point of these are beyond the other options that I've tried out before. And it comes in a few different colors, but the one I've got right here is the black with kind of a bronze finish. I think it looks incredible. The build quality is great. The headband and everything is very flexible. The ear cups are comfortable. You also have a bit of a touch panel on the side, which honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of when it comes to controls. Aside from arguably having the best noise canceling experience, I think another good feature is that you get 30 hours of listening with the active noise cancellation on and 38 hours with it off. And with a 10-minute charge, you can get 5 hours of listening, which on paper beats out many of its rivals. Some of the other good traits are the fact that once you take them off, it will actually pause the music automatically, and you can also have them connected to 2 devices at the exact same time. I think the only minor complaint I have is that these do look like very traditional over-ear headphones. They're definitely not the smallest, but they really do plug out the exterior noise and do a good job of being adaptive in that aspect. So the next product we're talking about is the BenQ TK850 4K projector. So when I was trying to redo my entire home office, the first priority obviously was figuring out the desk, and I decided to go with like an L-shaped, and I also had this wall with a bit of decor. But one of the things that I really noticed was, despite having a nice TV in my bedroom and in my living room, I don't really spend that much time actually sitting there to watch TV because there's always some work to do, whether it is video editing or just like general research on the computer. So I'd watch like TV on my iPad. Because there's a big blank on the wall over there, why don't we add a projector right here that is able to fire over and be able to broadcast, say, a hockey game or Formula One in the morning. So this BenQ projector right here is the TK850. It is 4K, has 3000 lumens, which works out very nicely in a room that definitely isn't the darkest during the daytime. And it has all the latest technologies such as HDR compatibility and the DCI P3 color gamut. The contrast is great, and I honestly couldn't be happier with a setup like this. One thing I will say is that this projector gets really, really hot. But yeah, we have it mounted up on the ceiling on an Amazon mount. It was like 20 bucks. Definitely not the easiest to assemble. And I also wrapped the front of this projector in vinyl. It's just matte white because previously it was blue and it just really stuck out and I didn't like that. And as you guys probably see, there's a cable channel that goes all the way across. I was originally planning to have the wires go through the wall, but the issue with that is that the unit next to me is right there. There's a firewall, and in a condo building, you can't cut into the firewall. So instead we have these, which we still have to paint. So that's like the setup itself. I've got it connected via HDMI all the way around and have the TV box on that wall. So it all kind of fits in very seamlessly. And on the top, we have a Sonos speaker, which is the play bar that I had in my living room. And that just gives like a very nice experience. And unfortunately, the Canucks are knocked out. But if I want to watch hockey or any sports while I'm working, it is just so nice. The visual quality is really good. And obviously, the darker you can get the room, the better. But especially at nighttime, I can say I love the experience from the TK850. I want to give a huge thanks to the sponsor of this video, Hulkman, and their Alpha 85S charger that can do way more than just charge a smartphone. It can actually jumpstart your car. It's got a light in it and just plenty of power right here. So with the holiday season coming up, if you know somebody who pretty much has everything and you don't know what to get them, this is probably like the best all-in-one tool that I can recommend, and they just launched their Kickstarter, and that is going to be linked down below. So this right here is a 20,000 milliamp hour battery, which is massive. And as you can see, it is built like a tank, and there's just so many ways that this can be used. You can keep it in your car as like an emergency device, or also take it with you camping. And with any battery pack, you're able to charge your smartphone. So if you flip this open here, you have a USB port as well as a USB Type-C in-out port. The Apple Watch, for example, can be charged over 40 times with just this battery, and you can charge your iPhone 11 Pro 4 times. One of the biggest selling features though is that it can jumpstart your car, and it has the pieces for it in the box as well. So if you've got a car that has up to an 8.5 liter engine or a 6.0 liter diesel, your 12-volt vehicle can be jumpstarted with the kit that is included, and it just makes things super easy. The instructions are even printed on the back. It also has a light built in on the end that can deliver up to 200 lumens of power. And I also love the fact that you have this large LCD display on the front that tells you the amount of power that you have left. And if you ever use up this 20,000 milliamp hours, you can charge up this entire battery unit 50% in just 35 minutes because it has a high-speed charger included. If you guys go ahead and check that link down below and get the early bird pricing, you can get this unit for 40% off at just $89. So I'm going to drop a link to everything you need in the description. One of my favorite recent upgrades is a standing desk, and I think for anyone who is working from home, if you're looking for a new setup, this is definitely something to consider, because if you're sitting for long periods of time, you might have like back pain or whatever, so being able to just press a button and stand up to work is great. And the model that I have here is one that I couldn't be happier with, and it is from a company called Uplift. This is the L-shaped model, the commercial option, so it is super durable. It can hold over 300 pounds, and we've got a computer on this side, we've got a computer right here. I've even put my Mac Pro on the table to film before. It is super heavy in some cases, and it has had no problems. So to summarize in short terms, this right here is the IKEA kitchen countertop. It was like $200. We had it cut down 10 inches down to 84 inches. And this over here is my original desk that I had against the wall. We took off the legs and kind of screwed it onto the frame and leveled it out, put some trim pieces on the sides to just have it look all flush. And whenever you want to raise or lower it from a standing to sitting setting, it is super easy to do with just a set of buttons over there, and the cable management is also amazing. So as like I mentioned, it can hold plenty of weight, and yeah, you can just go from standing to sitting. And the way I plan to use this desk is to have the sitting on this side, and say I want to like use my laptop and take a look out the window, I can just switch it over to this side and have my laptop there. If you're a YouTuber that is also too lazy to change the tripod position, you can also just raise and lower this table and have your products on it. And I feel like that is like a low-key hack. And from talking to Random Frank P, who also does a lot of setup videos, he said he's done the same as well. So going back to home tech, here's a product that I checked out a couple months ago, but with some of the new updates, it's actually added a few new features, and that is the Roborock S6 Max V. So this is a robot vacuum that is able to obviously vacuum the floor, but I think what makes it special is some of the smart features that are built in, and its abilities to be able to map out the place and use AI and its LiDAR sensor cameras in order to detect certain obstacles and items that are in the way or around the room, such as wires, shoes. It actually shows an image on the map, and I think that is super cool. And you can also obviously divide like different rooms that you would like it to clean and focus on. But beyond that, I think one of the coolest features that I haven't seen before is the ability to remote control your robot vacuum to go around the house and clean certain areas. You can set like the target point of where you want it to go to, but you can actually see everything and what is going on from the cameras, from your smartphones, and just like drive it around like a video game. And as someone who sucks at cleaning and sucks at playing video games, this is kind of like my two worlds colliding, but I think it is a super cool feature that I haven't seen before. Just being able to see like a first-person view from your robot vacuum and to go to a certain area while avoiding certain obstacles. That is something that Roborock has done a really good job in terms of software and hardware combination with such a powerful vacuum. I also like that it is very low profile, so if it needs to fit like underneath the bed or some furniture, it can definitely do so. If you guys want to check this out for yourself, it's going to be linked down below along with all the products in this video. So the next item is one that I personally got a lot of questions about, and I had it in the background of a video and I just didn't think much of it. I didn't know that many people were interested in. After getting a lot of questions, I thought I would include it in this video, and it is the farfetched clock. So I found this on Amazon. I think I originally saw it on an Instagrammer's page and she had like a swipe up link. So I went to pick it up myself. It is too expensive for a clock. You can get like clocks for $10. This thing was like in Canada over $200. I had it imported, but I gotta say it does kind of look great on this wall, and it finishes things off, and just, I didn't really know what to put on this. As you can probably tell, it says it's lights out and away we go, and if you know, you know.
Where it's lights out and away we go.
Yeah, the clock is mounted here. It has the actual time. It also has the date, the year, and also the day of week. One thing that I've got to say though is that don't put this in your bedroom because when it flips, it is pretty loud. So in an office, it makes sense, but I really don't have much to say about it. It looks super good on this wall in my opinion. And if you really want to invest in your office decor, then it could be a good option. So some of the most exciting products I showed up in the mail this month came from our friends over at Oppo. And if you guys remember in the past, we've traveled with them many times and made some incredible travel videos. But this right here is the Lamborghini edition of the brand new Oppo X2 Pro, which is the flagship for this year. We did do a review on that on the channel, so if you guys want to check that out, it is live. But this right here is their Lamborghini edition, and is kind of like the continued series of their partnership with Lamborghini. They had a limited edition model as well for last year's flagship, and it was really cool. But this right here is definitely not cheap. It comes in at a retail price of $2,000 US, and if you go on eBay, it is something like $3,000. But it has like an incredible build and just a nice unboxing experience. And on the spec side of things, it is the highest that you can go for a 2020 phone. So just looking at the box right here, it has like a very unique way of opening. It is inspired by the Lamborghini Aventador SV. So with the kind of unique door of that, this also opens up kind of cool. It says Oppo and Lamborghini in this like carbon fiber look. And beyond that, you take out the phone itself, and we're gonna take a look at that in a second. But some of the other stuff included in the box are a very nice case that has like a very high quality texture with leather on the other side, the Lamborghini print on the bottom. You also have a pair of fully wireless earbuds, which are actually gloss black and have the Lamborghini logo as well, and a very fancy car charger that looks like it's supposed to go with your Lamborghini, but I'm guessing even most people who buy this phone don't have an Aventador SV. So looking at this phone, it is absolutely incredible. It has like this kind of shape to it on the back that ridges in and out and has like some sharp curves to it. And if you look very closely under the light, which in this case we've got pretty good lighting, you can see like a carbon fiber texture on the bottom, as well as a kind of flat finish where the Lamborghini logo is set inside the finish of the phone. The Oppo logo on the top is in gold, and you also have like this nice ridge with copper look around that. And on the front, of course, this is a massive display. And for those who love specs, this phone is not going to disappoint. For starters, it's got a 6.7-inch display that is 120 Hz and QHD plus resolution, and the charging technology is something that Oppo has been very good at over the years, and that includes the 65-watt SuperVOOC 2.0 flash charge. And when it comes to processor power, this has the Snapdragon 865 Plus dual mode 5G, and it is paired with 512 gigs of storage with 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM. For the camera, it has two 48 megapixel cameras, one of which being the wide angle and the other being an ultra wide angle, and on the front you have a 32 megapixel sensor. The back also has a periscopes camera, and it is kind of like an improvement of what we saw last year on the Oppo Reno line, which is one of the first phones that I've ever tested out with a periscope camera, and we were able to take some amazing photos in multiple great destinations with Oppo last year. So one of the most exciting things to show up in the last month is super nerdy, but it is the RedKomodo, and I feel like the camera industry has seen some amazing breakthroughs in the last couple months. Personally, I find smartphones to be kind of boring lately, and everything is just very similar and incremental. but it's the best time to be a camera nerd right now because Canon, Sony, Red, and just everything has just been advancing. Stuff is available at better prices, smaller form factors, and Red for the first time has made what they would consider a budget camera that comes in at a price of $6,000 to $7,000. And it is essentially as close as you can get to the Red camera quality in a 4x4 form factor that is under 2 pounds. So after having this for a month, I can tell you that I haven't really used it that much because it needed a lot of bits and pieces just to put the rig together. I added this display from Small HD that is 5 inches and it runs via SDI to the back. I also added the side handle from Red, which is very comfortable and easy to adjust. And on the back, we have a set of batteries. These are just like a knockoff Canon. And this is like a nice run and gun form factor compared to like the 20-pound setup that we have on the main camera. It shoots in 6K Red RAW resolution, so it means I can change my white balance, my ISO, and all that stuff in post. And it uses the RF adapter for Canon's new RF line of lenses, records to CFast, and pretty much everything is on the touchscreen above. You can control it. And I know this is like absolutely a niche product, but if you're someone who loves cameras and wants to make that next step in upgrading your equipment for filmmaking, then I feel like so far this has been a very good option, even though it is in beta. We've been using it for a B-cam in the podcast and also for some of the videos, but what I really think is gonna be the best use case scenario is like run and gun outside. And also for car videos, being able to have this on a gimbal is way cheaper than having to buy a gimbal for like my main 15 to 20 pound camera. So we did take a look at a more unique and extremely expensive phone in this video that on eBay goes for over $3,000, but I thought we'd also take a look at something that I feel like is more accessible, especially to people who are outside of North America, and that is the new OnePlus Nord. So I forgot to respond to their emails and I didn't get it until a couple weeks ago. I know a lot of people have had this for quite a while now, but after opening it up and setting it up, I actually have to say I'm really impressed at what this phone is able to offer, even after using the iPhone SE and the Google Pixel 4a. First off, it's got like a glass back. It just looks super good. The blue color, it also comes in a gray, but say you got the blue one and you don't like the color, you can also go ahead and pick up a dbrand skin and customize it. It is just like a very simple looking phone. And it also has a multi-camera setup on the back. And the phone itself is just a really good size. It definitely isn't as large as OnePlus's premium phone nowadays, but I would say the camera quality is okay, but the best feature in my opinion is the display. It is a 120 hertz screen that is super fluid. It looks incredible, and I've always loved OnePlus phones because the screen just seemed to have a very good color balance, both in terms of sharpness and saturation. So the colors that need to still stick out, but it definitely isn't overwhelming like you might see on a Samsung display. So I feel like that is the single best feature on the OnePlus Nord. It also has like the clean software experience that you can expect. On the processor side of things, it is a 765G, and you've also got a dual camera setup on the front with the hole punch display, but the display built in is a 90 hertz screen, and from some of the rumors, the next iPhone is not gonna have a fast refresh rate, which is somewhat unfortunate. I know it's like kind of like a debate, but that was personally something that I was very excited for. But for a phone of this price point and with the stereo speakers and everything, I feel like the display speed is incredible. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.